Team 11. Final presentation. Interactive video in which the importance of organization, its different techniques and how you can implement them in your day-to-day, getting a better performance, aimed at a higher education level in first year student of software engineering, FMAT Water for classroom and online mode. Advances. These were our most significant advances throughout the production of the project. Our first delivery featured the following: the definition of the project, goals, the methodologies to be used, and the process and quality control to be used, the presentation of our first user stories and non-functional requirements. For the second delivery, the following advances were presented based on the first one: realignments in project, in innovation and creativity, user stories, non-functional requirements, and in the competencies being acquired. Our most notable changes were use cases and the diagram of this. Sprint 1 completed, in which we have the specification of the use cases, designs, development and testing of the product increment. And finally, we have the delivery of the increase. We present a small part of it.
Bienvenido a nuestro video interactivo de métodos y habilidades de organización personal para alumnos de licenciatura en Ingeniería en Software. Si estás viendo este video, puede que tengas problemas para organizarte, pero no te preocupes, podemos ayudarte a mejorar.
For the final delivery, we noticed the following important advances: metric readjustment, Sprint 2 and 3 completed, in which the specification of the use cases, designs, development and testing of the product increment were performed, and most importantly, the delivery of the final product. We present a small part of it.
Para empezar, ¿qué es la organización? Organizar no es otra cosa que crear una estructura que nos permita alcanzar nuestras metas y conseguir nuestros objetivos de manera sistemática, aprovechando al máximo los recursos que tenemos para ello.
Elige la habilidad que quieres ver a continuación.
Acciones para mejorar la habilidad de delegar.
Scheduling. The planning or scheduling was done based on each release of progress presentation dates, since it was not possible to make a total schedule because delivery dates were not known until they were made public. It was done into three parts. When the first date was provided, was planning the time from the beginning of the project until the first delivery. Then when the second date was provided, the process was repeated and so on to the final delivery. The schedule of activity was made in an online file, docs, in which each member could enter to verify that what was being done was going according to plan.
Development phase. The first date was used for sprint planning, the following 4 days for sprint execution, the 6th day for sprint review, and the 7th day for sprint retrospective. For each stage, different activities were performed, which are present below. Requirement lifting, product backlog. When using an agile methodology such as Scrum, the essential is to use user stories, which were written. When we had the user stories, we broke them down into use case, always keeping in mind not to have the so-called pregnant use case. User story was given a story point, which has taken using the poker planning method. It was also prioritized using the most key method. At this stage, each activity was done together with the product owner and the whole team. Sprint planning. Create our table of available effort, which helped us to see how much approximate time we had for each sprint and to know if we could achieve what was requested. In case we could not, we choose to reduce the user stories to develop the sprint. Invite all the activities of each user story to be developed in the sprint and provide them with a progress hour. Adding the hours of each activity gives us the total hours required to develop those user stories, and if it is within the range of available effort hours, we can make the sprint commitment. This is used as a sprint backlog. A specification of the use case for each user story. Sprint execution. Planning the execution of the sprint in which the tasks were divided and a table was made to see the best way in which we could carry out the execution and how we were going to work. The method we used were to work in parallel, and every time a task was finished, it was sent to testing, without waiting to have all the progress of the product. Execution of the activities. Create stories. Make videos and test. The testing was based on the fact that the person in charge would have to watch the video and confirm that it conforms to the specifications. All this results in the progress of the product. Management. Daily meetings. Use timetable of reminding effort. Kanban board. Ask via WhatsApp how the activities were going. Sprint review. Summary of the progress achieved. Presentation of product. Discussion about the product. Review or change in the product backlog. Sprint retrospective. Discuss and answer the following 3 questions. What worked well? What didn't work? What can we start to do or improve?
Lessons learned. Scrum methodology. Divided into different learning lessons, starting with the planning, organization, and development of the parts that make up the project, where Jira software was used as the basis, which allow us to organize and assign work to each team member by the leader. All this allowing the acquisition of organizational skills, efficient teamwork, understanding what is an agile development framework, and how Scrum works. Product backlog management. We were able to formulate ideas to form the emergent and orderly list of product requirements, translating them into user stories. We achieve this by listening to everyone and learning how to make group decisions. Must-go. Applying this method, we assume a critical analysis, since to assign priority to the user stories, we have to analyze each one, seeing which function and more important until reaching the less important. To categorize which should be included, which could be, and which may be not. Planning poker. We learn to give a general level of analysis to each user story based on the different experiences of each member. Sprint planning. By applying this part of the Scrum, we learn to set a goal that we can actually achieve. We realize that by dividing complex tasks into small tasks, we can know approximately how much time we need to finish the whole set of tasks, which helps us a lot because we can know that we can really develop the activities with the time we have. By having the tasks divided, we learn to have a guide of what needs to be done to finish that part of the product, and specifying the use cases to us to understand that it's important to know what you need specifically want, which helps you develop them because you really know what you want and avoid confusion. Sprint execution. In this part, we learn that by planning how the activities will be done and what activity each member will develop, it helps you avoid risk. You learn to analyze what will be done and how it will be done, and to be able to think which way is the best, listening to the ideas of the whole team. The designs of the activities so us to understand a closer point of what we want to achieve and develop, which we took as a basis to be able to make good development. The testing taught that there will always be errors, but they can be minimized or eliminated, which gives quality to the product. Daily Scrum. It taught us to actively participate, to express ourselves, and to understand how important it is to know how the development of all activities is going and manage the task. A sprint review, it tells us to work as a team to review each sprint in order to identify failures and fix them. And a sprint retrospective help us learn from our mistakes to improve members and as a team to improve our product development.
Competences. Each of the members performs satisfactorily in their assigned roles and we complete each competency. We demonstrate the correct use of language, tools such as research sources, apps and platforms. We were able to work together and solve each problem that came up with effective solutions in meetings. We have through the Teams app. We guarantee users that they will be able to interact in an agile and simple way with our video. We use a screen model in the Jira platform to satisfy each phase that the project requires, and to verify the quality of our product, we did tests to make sure that the audio and video worked correctly. Although our video don't require programming, we apply specific concepts to the process of building the software, so each member of the team got used to each concept. Teamwork. The tasks were divided into 3 types: small with 1 point, medium with 2, and large with 3. Each member was assigned tasks according to their skills, always trying to divide the task equally with respect to the points. Each member was responsible for delivering their task in the specific time and manner. The total points earned for all tasks equal 100% of the total project, so the individual percentage was based on the points earned by each member within that point total. Review of the course. The activities performed in this project were very appropriate to our academic and professional preparation, since we were able to learn about fundamental concepts of the software and its processes regarding academics. We learned to work remotely, to improve our presentations, our oral and grading, teamwork, and fellowship. The activities can be improved in general, since being applied for the first time all online can be adapted and be more didactic and fun, such as presenting. Thanks for your attention. All our information is in our repository.